Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Fake Grand Order. Ich bin es, euer Demi-Servant. Beim letzten Mal, ja, haben wir hier die Ruhe vor dem Sturm, welche wir hier nun beenden werden. Es ist nun Zeit, hier die letzten Momente vor der großen Schlacht gegen Camelot hier zu genießen. Einmal noch runterzukommen, bevor hier die größte Schlacht in der Geschichte des britischen Lostbelts hier beginnen wird. Wir sitzen hier im Camp mit unseren Freunden und dann schauen wir mal hier. Was ist Artoria? Artoria was here just a moment ago. She said she was going to take a walk outside the camp to get some idea. Sure, it's a little reckless of her to get out on her own right before the big battle, but she's strong enough how that she'll be fine even if one of the Tamlin were to attack her. The real problem is whatever made her want to go outside. Maybe she is tired from being around all these people. Well, I know, she always had a tough time with crowds. Well, the fairies, really. Not that she's much better with humans either. Maybe it's because she can tell when she's someone lying. Huh? She can? Must be Fae eyes. Merlin said that it used to be impossible to lie to fairies because they could see your true feelings. From what I could tell, she still had a little of the power herself. Hold on, Oren told us that ever since British fairies started imitating human society, they lost the mystic eye that gave them their Fae eyes. Alright, Artoria isn't a British fairy. She came here from Avalon, which means she can see lies. She can tell what others are really thinking now. She might be seeing even deeper than that. This might be rich coming from me, seeing as I spent my little fixated on things like evil, retribution and karma. But if she can see people's karma, that'd be a terrible for her. I'm sure only fairies disappeared from proper human history is the advance of civilization. I bet a bigger one, though, is that they couldn't stand seeing human malice laid bare. As humans invented language and began studying the world around them, the whole species grew wiser as knowledge spread from the privileged class to the masses. But it also helped lies to seed and pretend to spread all over the world. That's what the fairies couldn't bear, and that's why they stopped having anything to do with humans. But now the fairies of the Lostbelt are just pretentious and deceitful as humans, and only two fairies can see just how ugly these lies are, Artoria and Morgan. They're the only two like the fairies we knew in proper human history. Gotcha, makes sense. It's one thing to see through lies, but quite another to see their lies themselves. Sometimes we humans choose to go along with someone's telling us when we know they're lying. We can turn a blind eye if it'll help things on smoothly. But you can't do that with the Fae eyes. They leave you no choice but to face both the lie and the true feelings behind it. What if they only hung out with honest people? Ne, es gibt keine ehrlichen Menschen. What if we banned lying forever? Das geht aber genauso nicht. It still wouldn't be enough. There are always big gaps between what somebody says and thinks, no matter how honest they are. In some ways, it's actually better if someone lies to you out of contempt, as long as you know what you're doing. There are ways to cope. But if you can see the lies for what they are, the worst are kind people tell to make you feel better. Even if they're doing it for good reason, a lie is still a lie. So, if even white lies cut out of kindness and consideration seem dirty to those with Fae eyes, then the Britain must be no different from human society as far as the Fairy of Paradise is concerned. And if that's true, would she really want to save a world like that? Of course she would. She's got her head screwed on straight about kind of thing. If she was going to jump ship, she'd have done it long ago. I don't know why she's so stubborn. But whatever. The reason she definitely made of most unyielding steer around, the kind of person who'll never compromise her principle no matter what. Naja, das weiß ich gar nicht mal. Wie gesagt, sie hatte beim letzten Mal auch schon einige Zweifel gehabt. Gotta say though, you never know what life materialization has in store. I was planning to head back to the foreign god as soon as I worked off what's my life worth. But this job turned out to be a whole lot longer than I expected. One thing led to another, and the next thing I knew, we were only half a day away from attacking Camelot. And I'm gonna be doing it together with the Master of Chaldea too. What do you think? You know, now that you mention it, it is really a hell of a situation we find ourselves in. I can only imagine the headache Director Goredofl must be getting when he reads the report. I don't suppose you'd be willing to join us officially, would you? You know, that's not a bad idea. Wait, could he actually do that? Oh, eher nicht. Sure I could. All the foreign god did was summon servants and give them jobs. Said we have no reason to defy her, since we've been handpicked by the strongest being in the world, so she knew we'd never betray her. Naja, Doman hat das auch gemacht. She still doesn't get the idea that some people are better fits for certain jobs than others, or that they might have actually preference of their own. Just takes a pro and con approach to everything. Though I guess the aspect might be different now. But I think I'll let another version of me handle that discussion. This time it just wasn't in the cards. Damn, that's so bad. I know, make sure you hang on the feeling though. I could tell there was no lie or silliness to what you said. The only reason Artorias made it this far because of how honest you were with yourself. I'm exhausted. I can't believe Knock-No-Riab actually wrote up orders for each and every soldier. Squad leaders are supposed to handle that kind of thing. I guess all that mental labor tend to fall on a few who can handle, since the most northern furries don't think about complicated things. Still, thanks to that, they are honest and trustworthy, and they are very loyal to Knock-No-Riab. Now that the Round Table army has regrouped too, the battle tomorrow should play out just like the prophecy said. Monk will be defeated without a single casualty. The pilgrimage went great. None of your traveling companions dropped out along the way. And the rebel army is in great shape. There's not a single soldier keeping secrets, just like in the Queen's army. All signs are pointing to a happier end, right, Artoria? I see. You're still hanging up about Gareth. But remember, the prophecy predicted all of that. The round fortress shall burn, and the bell of water shall appear. What happened to her wasn't your fault, and she didn't desert you either. That was her fate. Is that really what you think? Of course it is. Besides, Gareth wouldn't want us to be sad about her being gone. I don't mean about her. I mean what you said about there not being a single casualty. The truth is, you think our chances of winning are slim, that the Round Table army are going to be slaughtered, and the humans will the first one to die. And yet you're trying to confront me by telling me there won't be any casualties. Then that's what you said about no one hiding anything, just like the Queen's army. Be honest, Oberon, you've actually known Knock-No-Riab for a long time now, right? But you pretended you'd never met her before when she captured us after this morning. It's true, I have. But if you known Knock-No-Riab and I were friends, you never would have trusted me, would you? That's not all of it. When we saw Mesh for the first time, back in Norwich. Die Fae ist bei dem ganzen Lügengebeutel, was hier im Oberon hat, fallen ihm jetzt richtig auf die Füße. That's Mesh! That's Mesh? You already knew who Mesh was, but you pretended not to. Pretend? You also knew she was in Sheffield, but you didn't tell us. You kept it from Maxie, so he wouldn't go look for her. I did. I wanted Maxie to work with the Child of Prophecy of his own relation, not because Chaldea ordered him to. I admit it was dishonest of me. As powerful a Tamlin as Mesh was, it was still dangerous for her to be up north all by herself. And then there's... Yes? You could say one of the reasons I'm so overly invested in Britain's welfare is their kindness. Who says they are worthless or incapable of doing anything? They might be powerless, but they were the only ones who cared for me. So of course I have to do everything I can to pay them back. That's why I care so much about taking Morgen down. Das war auch eine Lüge. Ey, warte, was? And then there's the fact that you're gone on the morning of our battle with Woodward's army. We only won because the Queen's reinforcements never showed up. And it only happened because you did something to stop them. You always seem to be honest and sincere, but you never tell the truth. You never tell anyone that you're really thinking. Why is that? Why do you keep lying to us? Do you actually want to defeat Morgen? Boah, Leute, das war ein Statement. Of course I do. There's not a fairy in Britain who's worked harder to bring her down than I have. Das stimmt aber natürlich auch. I want to destroy her fairy Britain with every fiber of my being. If that means I have to lie, then I'll lie. Besides, I'm not the only lie here, Toria. You haven't been truthfully about why you've come this far. Your true motive has nothing to do with saving Britain. And I'm not the only one who's figured that out. Maxie is catching on too. You haven't been fighting for humans or even other fairies. Not for 1 second. Your true motive lies elsewhere. You just refuse to talk about it. What are you saying? That's ridiculous. I'm the Fairy of Paradise. I was sent here to save Britain. That's your guilt talking, not you. And what exactly does it mean to save Britain, do you think? Do you know what Muramasa once said? He said that every fairy is seeking absolution, that every last one of them yearns for death. He said that deep down, that was what every fairy in every town we've been secretly wants. Muramasa said that. He doesn't have fair eyes like we do, but he must see pretty sensitive to the pain people carry in their hearts. That's why you're still conflicted about this, isn't it, Toria? You don't talk about things like that because you know it wouldn't change anything. It's the same with me. I'll do whatever it takes to defeat Morgen, whether I like it or not. So why don't we leave it at that for now? Tomorrow's our last battle. I'm sure there'll be time when we can come clean about what you're really thinking. And that's what the whole pilgrimage was for, right? And hey, who knows? Once you come clean, you might just find that nobody thinks it's a big deal anyway. Aber so sehr, also Leute, das ist also erstens sehr desaströs. Also Castoria will eigentlich nur ihre Pflicht erfüllt haben, dass sie halt in Ruhe sterben kann. Dass sie eben nicht irgendwie als Moors oder so auch immer, wie auch immer, aufsteht. Aber was ich ganz schlimm finde, ist hier, wie Oberon es schon wieder hier auf meisterhafte Art und Weise geschafft hat, von das eigentlich abzulenken. Vom eigentlichen Thema. It seems not Maria up. Army and the round table army of Ronderwood. I still can't quite believe. Her Majesty didn't even try to stop them. It's one of the thing. To give your enemy a fighting chance, but this is far too generous. Between the Child of Prophecy's protection and the King's Clan Fate domain, our forces should be eventually matched. I'm sure Her Majesty means to crush them, but there's still another chance to get lucky. If our forces are evenly matched, then there's no chance of them winning as long as you and I are here. The two of us alone could enter us right now, whether the High Queen is here or not. I could destroy Nocnariab's army on my own, and you could do the same for the Round Table army. We're already being nice, giving them till morning. There's no sense meeting them in their terms. The only ones we need to be wary are the foreign mage Galahad, the two servants, and Percival. But I can lure all of them on my own too. Gar nicht ein bisschen übermütig. They are all very good fighters, but none of them can match me in the air. The only fairies who could fight me on even terms, I queen morgen, or you in a larger form. If I were in their shoes, I'd at least twice the forces they have been before trenching Camelot. But unfortunately for them, the soldiers from Salisbury coming to join them have only just crossed the western plains. The Franklin might have helped tip the scales if they'd gone over to the side, but they're nowhere to be seen lately. Wieso wohl? They don't have a chance. The rebel army dies here, and the prophecy will never come past. Assuming they don't secretly have a unit equivalent to one of us, the Tamlin on their side. Indeed, as long as they lack a Tamlin of their own, they won't stand a chance. Her Majesty ordered me to only kill soldiers that make their way into the castle town. So I'm going to patrol the air and take care of any soldiers that try to get past the ramparts. The knights Her Majesty has stationed in the town will never get a chance to fight, and of course they never get through the main gate, not with you guarding it. Part of me feels a little bad for crushing them so fruitfully, but there's no escaping reality. If Britain's last war will end with a whimper, there won't be much or a single surprise. The last war. True doubt there will ever be another rebellion of this size. But the calamities will not end here, and Her Majesty has no intention of stopping the Great Calamity. Our victory here won't do anything to stop most of Fair Britons from dying. So, you do not think that's sad? Does it not make you question the point of winning this battle? I'm surprised to hear that from you, Bargest. I didn't think you thought about those kinds of things. What was said that fighting is the Franklin's instinctual drive and pitting themselves against powerful foes the greatest pleasure. There's truth to it. I won't deny that there's a part of me that's a little different from a bloodstuffed beast too. The one thing Bo and Sif and I have in common is that I too cannot help myself from dominating the weak. But that is my own personal issue, not their only effects in Britain. I see. You did become a Tamlin to protect Britain, didn't you? I'm afraid I don't share your aspirations though. The name Her Majesty gifted me is a hindrance, not a help. I'm an airborne fighter, not a knight. Human swordplay only slow me down. I accepted this name, in spite of that, to remain as Lancelot. I think it was about 100 years ago, when my body began showing signs of anomalies. My love for her maintained me in my form from up until then, but even that couldn't last forever. Her Majesty saved me from that fate. Without this Tamlin name, I would have reverted back to my old self. I don't serve Her Majesty for Britain's sake. I serve her to preserve this form. That's why I don't quite understand what you're talking about. No, that's not true. I do understand. I've just chosen not to think about it. Because I have something else I care about more. Something you care about more than Britain. I do too, as a matter of fact. I at least want Adonis to live out his natural life. I doubt you have anything like that yourself though. That's why I envy you. Queen Morgan has no love in her, but she does trust you implicitly. She's always sent her for you, no matter how many times you fail her. No wonder Wood was jealous of you. No love? Her Majesty? No, I suppose you're right. She's always and only ever loved this land. Her Majesty adept as well. I couldn't be here today without my gifted name. Her Grace made me who I am. Even if she only offered it to control me, adept is still adept. However, I cannot repay the debt any further. I have to protect Britain's future and his. Der Verrat rückt näher. Oh, Tristan. It's night time now. Could somebody turn on the light? I have to get to the ball. I have to put my beautiful dress. Hello? Is anybody there? Forgive me. Forgive me, mother. It wasn't my fault. I didn't want to do it. But my lord said he wanted to see what the moving cup were like. So I sucked the blood off from them. Just one. But my lord was taken with them. That he had me make lots more in the basement. Of course they were going to run everything. Of course they were going to. Somebody help, please help them. I'm hopeless, I'm on. I've never been any good man. Heißt es? Never had anything on. That's nobody. Heißt es, diese Moors-Experimente, diese Menschen, die hier in Moors verwandelt wurden, das hat Beryl ihr angeschafft? Ja. Have no power, no special skills, no friends. If mother wants me then, I won't have anything at all. There she goes again. Looks like Tamlin Tristan not so long for this world finally. She lost her Tamlin name when the Child of Prophecy defeated her, then Beryl Gut disappeared. And now she's finally exhausted. Her Majesty's patience too. We are to seal her door up with wax tomorrow. Probably too much trouble to even execute her. Now she faded away with no one ever knowing what became of her. What's wrong with that? Sounds like a fitting end for the most hated figure in all of Britain. Remember how many fairies she killed? Hell, I'd off her myself if I could get away with it. Don't bother. She rotted so much she can barely move now anyway. She dies soon enough on her own. Hell, you might even get cursed if you got too close to her. If ever someone weren't worth killing, it's her. You said it. At least once she's gone, Her Majesty ought to go back to being. Who goes there? The Queen gave strict orders to let... Oh, if it isn't Lord Beryl. Beryl. Es kann nur Beryl sein. Spriggan? Was? I wasn't told there would be a guard here. I had to do that to them when they couldn't getting paid much. But from the looks of it, I'm sure the next generation will show up soon enough. I got the keys from them. Shall I open the door? Of course. Apparently she's bedridden now. So, do be gentle with her. But don't be afraid to get rough if she acts up. We don't have any time to waste. Yes, sir. Come on, let's go. Not worth killing, That's just the sort of thing I'd expect from such a vulgar lot to say. Really, most things aren't worth anything. The question is whether they are worth keeping or best thrown away. Prices are something we set for ourselves. Even the worst price of junk can still have its users. Leute, was macht Spriggan da? Ja, unser guter alter Freund Beryl. I have to make certain I have to ask her. Majesty, Queen Morgan. Can't be. That can't be right. Oh, how wonderful. How good to see you're still alive. And resolute as ever. Was this? Is this Woodwars? I couldn't believe my ears when Spring asked me to take you in. But it looks like you really did survive. Coral, do treat us once, won't you? You're the best magic powder you have. Thank you, Ruhe. You're a beautiful fairy. I'm sorry I doubted you. Even for a moment. It's no use, his just won't refuse to close. Not even the magic powder can help him. Besides the round table army warm, wouldn't it be dangerous to harbor Lord Woodward now? We mustn't give up. We get all the medicine in town if we have to. It doesn't matter which army won that battle. Now that the battle is over, we can't let him die. He's the proud head of the Fang clan after all. Den es nicht mehr gibt. He's kept Britain safe for hundreds of years. He doesn't deserve to die miserably. Arrgh. How could I have been so foolish? If I had only heard your voice to begin with. No, don't try to talk, Woodward. You need to conserve the strength. I can hardly believe it. I wanted to do what all the fairies have been saying about Her Majesty cutting the Fang clan loose as mere rumor, but... Rumor? What rumor? What did the High Queen do to us, Aurora? Oh, poor Woodward. Then you really don't know, did you? The Queen never did send you any reinforcements. She hates the Fang clan for how many humans they consume, and meant to both sides to fall in the battle. Her Majesty only trusted Tamlin now. That's why she didn't even send anyone to look for your body. It pains me to say this, but she abandoned you and your Fang clan Woodward. She thinks you're nothing more than old guard dogs who have outlived their usefulness. Oh, Leute, sie zeigt ihr böses Wesen. Aurora, das ist eine dreiste Lüge und du weißt es. Sie spielt mit ihm. Und das ist nicht schön. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. Majesty, your Majesty. That can't be true. I can't. The Fank's loyalty. Otherwise, they must have meant something to you. Right. I have to find out. I have to. Even if I have to kill her to do it. Mir tut Wood was leid. Leute, ich sage, er ist schon irgendwie Bestie und also gut ist jetzt definitiv, ist er jetzt nicht, aber Leute, ich weiß nicht. Also definitiv das Ende, was er jetzt hier erhält, hat er nicht verdient. Also Leute, die letzte Szene, bevor es dann losgeht. Oh, what are you doing outside the camp? Are you so empty you can't fall asleep? I'd ask you the same, Oberon. What are you doing here? Tori seemed like she still had some doubts, so I thought I should check in on her. Our armies might be evenly matched, but they've still got the tumbling on the side. If we give them so much as a centimeter, we're done for. So I gave her a little pep talk. I said, "Hey Toria, know what a King Arthur really means? It means King of Birth." And boy, was she surprised. Jetzt kommt wieder... Es war klar, jetzt kommt wieder das Oktoberfest. Yeah, I can just imagine. You know how competitive she is, right? Lighting a fire under the works better than trying to get her to see reason. In just a few hours, the veil of night will be lifted. The final battle will begin when the morning larks sing. At this point, I've done everything I possibly can. Though I can't say I don't have any regrets. I've been flying around this way and that looking for something, but I can't look anymore. I'm out of time. You know you said it doesn't exist here? You think? Yeah, because something doesn't exist means people don't look for it? You've got it all wrong, Maxie. We search because they don't exist. I can't help but seek it never be. That's what my Queen Titania is to me. She's no different than the stars twinkling in the sky. Because no matter how hard we try, those of us here on Earth will never be it for ourselves. But we can talk about me some other time. Truth be told, I'm not used being open about my feelings. For now, you should head back to the tent and rest up. If you're having trouble sleeping, I can always sprinkle you with a bit of sleeping powder. I may not be much good at fighting, but when it comes to putting people to sleep, don't even Merlin, the incubus, could beat me. This might just be my imagination, but... Huh? What's up? It seems like you're always angry. Yes, I suppose I kind of am. Truth to tell, I've been a little upset ever since I heard you have all been going around erasing Lostbelts. Not at you, you understand, more at those who learn the stories later. I know it can't be helped, of course. Every event ends up just a story to the people who weren't involved in it. Decades after our adventure's over, it'll be written up in some report. Those who read it won't think of it as anything more than the lesson to the learned. That's what I can stand. Half of Oberon the Fairy King was born from a story after all. That's why my feelings are split right down in the middle. As a rogue spirit of proper human history, part of me wants to see Britain restored to its rightful state. Being a fictional character myself, part of me wants to let its story continue. And that's hard to reconcile with the rest of me. I'm okay with exercising Lostbelts to bring back proper human history. We wouldn't exist if not for the latter. But the idea of those Lostbelts being neglected and forgotten in the future still hits me hard. I don't want them to be thought as things that deserve to disappear. I want people to understand that even if they were cut off before the time, their existence still had meaning. Then again, maybe I only feel that way because I'm directly involved in this one. People have always moved forward by recording the past. They can't hold on that to values forever. That we even have phrases like old-fashioned or behind the times is proof we've moved on from what we once were. Do you hate Morgan, Oberon? No. She may be our enemy, but I don't hurt her. Hell, I've never met her, the woman. And you know, the story of this land of the Fae she came up with isn't half bad. The entire era of the High Queen is basically a fairy tale Monk wrote herself. It's a dream she wanted to see come true, so much that she poured her heart and soul into making it a reality. Whether it's a good story or a bad one, I can't help but respect the effort that went into creating it. Which is exactly why I'm pouring my heart and soul into defeating her. As a fellow fairy tale being, I want her curtain call to be memorable. Of course, we don't have a chance against her if we don't give it all we have, since the boss morally isn't the only refactor. Take care of Artorium, Maxi. Like I said, my part is done. From here on, this is your battle to fight. All I want now, before I depart this world, is to see you guys win this battle spectacular. Danke, mein Feenkönig. Okay, Leute. Das waren hier nochmal schöne Worte. Und nun ist es an der Zeit, aber Leute. Wir sagen nochmal einen kurz ein. Und nun geht es los. Es ist Zeit für morgen. Beim nächsten Mal beginnt dann unsere große Invasion von Camelot. Bis dahin noch ein kleiner Cut und dann geht es hier richtig los. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.